Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar, also known as the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and you are you. Today is Saturn's Day, also known as Saturn's Day, June 25th, 2022. Let's see here, what happened on this day in history? In the year 1183, Peace of Constance was signed between Hohenstaufen Emperor Frederick Barbarossa and Italian Lombard League. Moving on up into 1530, the Augsburg Confession, where Germany's Protestant princes forced Holy Roman Emperor Charles V to hear their confession of faith. By the way, you're a little bit on camera, just to let you know. Okay. It was just like, your elbow or something, but...
God forbid.
I don't know how much information somebody can get with their own. By the way, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am, who am I? The Golden Loon, right here.
You really are a loon.
That's an old joke. I gotta let it go.
Yeah. No, keep it running. It's an inside joke,
Okay, yeah.
It's something to keep the people on their toes. Like why is he giving the Golden Loon a face, 1788, Virginia became the 10th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. Which, by the way, a couple days ago, the 9th state, I forgot what it was, but it basically was the allowance bringing it into law. So that's like our real Independence Day.
Say that again, that one?
The 9th state ratified the Constitution.
Okay.
Which basically made it into law. You have to have X amount, people in order to make something, justified.
Yeah.
So, our actual Independence Day was 3-4 some odd days ago.
Okay.
So that's when we actually fully declared we are,
the majority says so.
Yeah, we are an independent union. We weren't in the United States of America yet.
Right,
that wouldn't happen for another 10 years or so. But we were a union, we the people, in order to create a more perfect union, right there in the in the thing. We the people, that's big right there.
Yes.
So, but it wasn't called to create the United States. It was to create a more perfect union.
Right.
Exactly
right.
But it wasn't on July 4th for whatever reason. That's when we celebrated. But it was actually on June 21st or 22nd or something.
Well, July 4th is actually our Declaration of Independence from England.
Yeah, well, I guess.
And we had to go through a war, and then it had to all be ratified to keep it. And,
It almost didn't happen.
No, I know. Actually, the colonies were in huge debate whether to go back to independent colonies or stay for the protection of the whole. And the ones that wanted to go back to colonies were concerned that the overall power of the federal government get too powerful.
Yeah.
Hello, look what happened.
Well, here's an interesting one. 1876, Battle of the Little Bighorn.
Oh.
U.S. 7th Cavalry under Brevet Major General George Armstrong Custer was wiped out by Sioux and Cheyenne warriors led by Chiefs Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull in what has become famously known as Custer's Last Stand.
Yeah.
Happened on this date. And that's because he left his Gatling guns. It was a relatively new invention, the Gatling gun.
Yeah.
But some surmise because he had actually left it back at his camp with whatever it was he was doing, because they're big, they're bulky, they're heavy and everything.
Hard
but
to take.
But some
Hard
people
to be mobile.
but some people have surmised if he had had just one, the battle would have been different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I bet.
Yeah. In 1888, Republican convention in Chicago nominated Benjamin Harrison, who later went on to become the 23rd U.S. president. So.
Big Ben.
Big Ben. But I thought that was a British thing.
It is a British thing.
1894, Boer leader Paul Kruger met British High Commissioner Sir Henry Locke on Pretoria Station in South Africa and accompanied him to his hotel to discuss the grievances of the Uitlanders, or the foreigners. That's an interesting name. That's an interesting beer. Look at that thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like Abe Lincoln or something. But it's
Yeah.
like it's not on the chin; it's under the chin.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. In 1910, Igor Stravinsky's ballet *The Firebird* for the Ballets Russes premiered at the Opéra de Paris in Paris. Doesn't he look like he's like saw a ghost or something? Like, look at that face. He's like, ooh, you know?
Looks like he's staring into the abyss or something.
God. 2 years later, in 1912, British Open men's golf at Muirfield, Ted Ray won wire to wire by 4 shots from defending champion Harry Vardon. What does it mean, wire to wire?
From beginning to end. For the first hole, he took the lead, never relinquished it, and ended up winning.
Dang. 1926, the British Open men's golf at Royal Lytham and St. Agnes Golf Club. American or U.S. amateur Bobby Jones won the first of his 3 claret jugs, 2 strokes clear of runner-up Al Watrous. This was his 5th victory. This was the 5th victory by a U.S. Citizen in 6 years.
The all-time great Bobby Jones.
Yeah, even I'm starting to like recognize these names. You know, Bobby Jones.
This could be dangerous.
Yeah. 1929, U.S. President Herbert Hoover authorized building of Boulder Dam, which would later become Hoover Dam.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
And now the reservoir is the lowest since it actually first started. We're down to like 1934 levels.
Is anybody trying to deal with this? I mean, sooner or later there's going to be no water. You know, what are we doing to deal with it? Anything?
Nothing really. Our politics are too enamored with.
Oh, it'll rain. Don't worry, it'll rain sooner or later.
Yeah. Anyway, 1934, New York Yankee Lou Gehrig hit for the cycle, beating White Sox 11-2. Okay.
You know what the cycle means?
Hit for the cycle beating. So is that like he broke a losing streak or something?
No. That means that day in that one game, he hit for a base hit, a double, a triple, and a home run.
In that order?
Well, no, not
Oh.
just. He got one of each during the game.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1 year later, in 1934, future heavyweight boxing champion Joe Louis moved to 20-0 win 6-round knockout of former champion Primo Carnera of Italy at Yankee Stadium in New York City. Is this just me, or does his head look too small? Like, look at the size of his body. Like,
Yeah.
it's just.
Or either that or his body's huge.
Well, either way, the head and the body don't match. You know?
Well, as you build up your body,
Yeah.
your head doesn't grow.
Yeah. 1938, A Tasket by Ella Fitzgerald with Chick Webb hit number 1. Nice.
Who?
Chick Webb.
Chick Webb.
Chick Webb.
Weird name.
There's a lot of weird names out there. Like Dick Pound, you know?
Don't go there. Yeah, don't.
1941, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8802, which forbade racial discrimination in the defense industry. Oh, where's that protecting people like me in today's world, you know? 1941, James F. Byrnes was admitted to the U.S. Supreme Court. Okay. 1 year later, 1942, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill traveled from the U.S. to London. He went back home. Also in 1942, Major General Dwight Eisenhower was appointed commander of the U.S. forces in Europe. But I don't think that was Supreme Commander yet.
No, Supreme Commander. He is just the commander of the Europe
Oh,
forces.
of U.S. forces.
Yeah, US
There's Supreme Commander
It was
because
everybody.
yeah, he eventually did
Ultra.
become Supreme Commander of all of Allied forces, which included not just the U.S. but everybody. You know.
Back in the day when I was little, my dad dragged me down to the corner to watch President Eisenhower and his brigade come by.
Oh.
Didn't see him, but saw his limousine.
Oh, his
sit by.
motorcade?
His motorcade.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really
I was
cool.
little.
That's like a scene out of good old American novel right there.
Yeah.
You know, I remember back my day, my dad dragged me. We went and saw the president's motorcade. Tell you what,
And here, I'll tell you something that is absolutely insignificant. He came around Airport Boulevard, which came right from the airport in the day. Today, Airport Boulevard doesn't go anywhere near the airport.
Huh?
The airport's always been rebuilt and out towards the ocean further.
Yeah. Oh.
So it goes down to freight or something now.
Well, around here we have a street called Lakeview, and it has no view of any lakes.
None.
So and then and then there's Broadway in New York, but very very few times you actually see a broad in that way.
Oh, come on.
1947, the first version of Anne Frank's diary, Het Antiquarius, was published in the Netherlands. 1948, Harry Truman signed Displaced Persons Bill, 205,000 Europeans to U.S. So that has got to be something to do with post-war.
Yeah.
Displaced Persons Bill. Let's take a look at this. Was authorized for a limited period of time the admission into the United States of 200,000 certain European displaced persons for permanent residence.
Okay, so they brought them to the U.S.
Yeah. Well, I mean, war-torn Europe, Like,
Yeah.
Like they had literally nowhere to go. Entire cities were destroyed. And actually, if you don't mind, I'll bring up an article from yesterday. This was like horrible. So this is yesterday, 1942. The village of Leskasli in Czechoslovakia was destroyed by Nazis after the Gestapo found a radio transmitter believed to have been involved in coordinating the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich. 33 adults were executed by firing squad on site. The children were sent to concentration camp gas chambers, and the village was burnt down and plowed under. Gone. They wiped an entire village off the map.
Weren't the Nazis wonderful? See, that's what happens with absolute power.
Yeah.
Never forget it.
Yeah. Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. Anyway, going back into to date, in 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea, beginning the Korean War. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So that started today.
1950.
1950. So that's, because we're always talking about, when did the Korean War start,
Yeah.
For us, when
I knew it was in the 50s. I could have told you it was 1950s.
Well, it's America's Forgotten War, that's what it's called, the Forgotten War, Because, at the end of the day, absolutely nothing changed.
No.
Nothing.
No.
All the people died, all the people suffering, all of it meant absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it was really crazy. But what did happen is China came in and supported and invaded, and that's how it ended up in a stalemate. Otherwise, the North would have been taken out. Because China decided to come in with millions of people, army, a million-man army.
Yeah.
And they did that instead of invading Taiwan. They were going to invade Taiwan.
Oh, snap.
And the Russians talked them into going into North Korea.
Dang.
And so Taiwan stands today.
Yeah, but we've never learned...
For a while. We'll see how long.
For whatever reason, we never... that just makes me wonder even more, because, if we were that close to losing Taiwan, then why would we put so much of a bargaining chip on Taiwan afterwards? Because now if we lose Taiwan, the whole world is screwed.
Yeah, we're toast.
So why did we allow Taiwan to get to where it is? The research development, of all these computer components. It's so volatile.
That's a good question. It's a real good question.
It's stupid. It's almost as if it was set up to fall.
Why have we done so much with China? I mean, a lot of our medical supplies and stuff come from there. And all
because we got to be appreciative and supportive of other people. Well, if the shoe was on the other foot, that boot would be on our neck. So. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Anyway, 1951, the first color TV broadcast, CBS's Arthur Godfrey from New York City to 4 cities occurred. Interesting. The first color TV.
Yeah,
1951.
I gotta tell you, finding something with a color TV and watching it was amazing. There wasn't too many shows on that were colored.
Now, would it be a racial thing to call it a TV colored TV? In
your warped mind, probably.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a Californian.
Don't say no more.
Hey, you're a Canuck. You're no
that
better.
That makes me special.
1955, Notre Dame de Haute Chapel, designed by Le Corbusier, was constructed in Ronchamp, France. 1960, Lorraine Hansberry's stage drama A Raisin in the Sun. Well, I mean, you will be if you're in the sun too long. The first Broadway play by a black woman, starring Ruby Dee and Sidney Poitier, closed at Poitiers closed at the Belasco Theater in New York City after 530 performances. Interesting.
Wow.
A Raisin in the Sun. You know, I'm gonna go on a limb here, like, you know, and I'm not trying to push anything, but like, would that be like some kind of slavery involvement, something? Like, you know, a raisin in the sun, and the main person is a black woman. You know, in the sun you're a slave. You know,
at all, so I have no idea.
I'm just going based off of, you know, the title and, you know, the cast and everything.
I don't even know what a raisin in the sun means. Kind of plays on raise, being outdoors, raised in the sun.
No, a raisin, like you know.
I understand. The meat.
The meat.
Raisins of meat.
No, raisins a dried out grape.
You're right. I stand corrected. Oh my God.
What are you talking about? Raisins of meat?
Well, never mind.
I'm confused.
I'm going. No, I'm trying to figure out the title of that.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking like, you know, like, because the title comes from the poem Harlem by Lawston Hughes, A Raisin in the Sun. The story tells of a black family's experiences in South Chicago as they attempt to improve their financial circumstances with an insurance payout following the death of their father, and deals with matters of housing discrimination, racism, and assimilation. The New York Drama Critics Circle named it the best play of 1959, and in recent years publications such as The Independent and Time Out have listed it among the best plays ever written. Interesting.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with slavery, but a lot to do with...
Well, there was some racial discrimination and stuff in there.
Well, yeah, but that's not slavery.
Yeah, no, it's not.
The difficulties you have to live with being a black person
in
those times.
Yeah.
Reflected that point in time.
Well, I was just thinking, like, you know, somebody out in the field, they're in the sun, they dry out, you know, oh, I'm a raisin in the sun, you know, and they're also black. You know, that's where I was going with it, but no. Anyway, 1963, JFK spoke at Paul's Church in Frankfurt. All right. 1966 as well. Oh no, 3 years later, 1966, Dmitri Shostakovich's 13th Symphony premiered in Leningrad. 1971, Stevie Wonder released the single "Where I'm Coming From." Well, he didn't know where he was going.
I remember him when he started, Little Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, actually, I reported on that the other day. He was like 17 or 19 or something. His first hit. Yeah. So.
He called himself Little Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Dropped the little eventually. He had to.
Man, he just couldn't see where he was going, did he?
Boo.
1973, Russian Communist Party leader Leonid Brezhnev visited France. What's with the Russians and always wearing medals? You know, like they're always. It's crazy.
The government is their god.
It's true. 1975, Barry White's "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe" was released.
Oh yeah.
1 year later, 1976, supernatural horror film The Omen, starring Gregory Peck and Lee Reminick, premiered in the U.S.
Yeah, that was a toughie.
The Omen. That sounds ominous.
Yeah, it was.
So
on the edge of your seat.
I gotta watch that. 1976, the 26th Berlin International Film Festival, Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's history lesson, won the Golden Bear. Wasn't the Golden Bear the name of a golfer? Golden Bear?
No, I know what you're thinking of. Could have been. Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name. I can't.
Because I remember
one of the all-time greats.
I remember
right after all of Homer.
Yeah, I remember like a long time ago.
Golden Bear. That's exactly right.
All right, so they're right because like I remember Balloon Shop. Like they're one of the they're OG YouTubers. They're not around anymore, but their channel's still up. All their videos are still up, but they haven't uploaded it in like 10 years or something. But like they did this one thing where like this one guy kept putting on like a golfer's hat, saying, "Oh, I want to be the Golden Bear," you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1982, South African President P.W. Botha issued a new proclamation, again placing Ingwavuma under government control. Dang. Also in 1982, the science fiction film Blade Runner, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer, was released.
I don't think I ever saw that.
I haven't either, and I thought Blade Runner was starred by a black guy. Or is that something else?
That would be something else.
Blade Runner. No, I swear. Blade Runner. Images. I guess not. Blade Runner. I could have sworn.
The it could be a similar name.
Huh. Well, I remember that there's like, you know, because like, you know, all these people, like, they're all going off about, like, oh, Black Panther, the first, you know, major movie with an African American star. It's like, no, dude, in the 90s, like, you know, there's like that guy. I don't know what movie it was. I thought it was Blade Runner. Where's Sohan when I need him? He would know this. He's the movie guy. Anyway, in 1984, Prince released his Purple Rain album. Huh.
Yeah.
Purple Rain, Purple Rain. 1986, Major League Baseball Philadelphia Phillies gave Steve Carlton, age 41, his unconditional release.
Great picture. Great picture.
41 is getting up there, though.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
for a
yeah.
baseball player.
Released him. Especially as a pitcher. Your arm's usually gone way before then.
I wonder why they blurred his logo out in his hat, though.
Well,
That's a little weird.
Question.
1987, Pope John Paul II received Austrian President Kurt Waldheim. All right. 1988, Benny Anderson, Bjorn Ulvaeus, and Tim Rice's musical Chess closed at the Imperial Theater in New York City after 68 performances. Also, 1988, Major League Baseball player Cal Ripken Jr. played his 1,000th consecutive game.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
1990, African National Congress leader Nelson Mandela met with President George Herbert Walker Bush at the White House.
Great man. Mandela.
Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to.
I was going to say George ain't that great. 1991, Martha Navratilova won world record 100 singles match at Wimbledon, beating Elna Reinert of South Africa 4-6, 6-2, 6-4 in the first round.
Yep.
Also in 1991, Slovenia and Croatia declare independence from Yugoslavia. I'm really muffling. I'm muffling every day. I don't know what's going on in my brain. 1993, Late Night with David Letterman aired for the last time on NBC TV. Dang. Also in 1993, Kim Campbell became the 19th Prime Minister of Canada, although she would remain in office for less than 5 months.
Wonder why.
I don't know. 1993 as well, during the Glastonbury Festival in Pilton, England, the Black Crowes and the Kings headlined with other performers including Wynton Marsalis, Robert Plant, Velvet Underground, Hothouse Flowers, Van Morrison, John Prine, Rolf Harris, Lenny Kravitz, and Bare Naked Ladies.
Whole lineup, my goodness.
Yeah.
A lot of greats in there.
1996, Independence Day.
Ew.
Could have been at a barbecue. And what the hell is that smell? Directed by Roland Emmerich and starring Will Smith, Bill Pullman, and Jeff Goldblum, premiered in Westwood, California. That was a good movie. 1996, Jay-Z released his debut studio album Beyond Reasonable Doubt with Rockefeller Records and Priority Records. 365 days later, in 1997, Christie's auctioned off Princess Diana's clothing for $5.5 million. That's just tasteless. The woman's dead. Why do people do this? You auction off Peter Frampkin's guitar.
Yeah.
Just knock it off. Let the family keep it. Unless
maybe the family sold it.
Yeah,
raising funds. I mean, $5.5 million. Come on, for a bunch of clothing.
Yeah, but then on the other hand, who's buying a dead lady's clothes?
That's
just
the question.
horrifying.
Who bought it? Sick? Museums maybe. I don't know.
That would make sense. Museums I could understand. Anyway, 1997, Danielle Steele's romantic novel Special Delivery was published. Also in 1997, the NBA draft saw Wake Forest power forward Tim Duncan was the first pick by San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
Look at his face. He kind of looks surprised that he got the first pick. Like, me?
No. There was no surprise there. Trust me. He's that good.
1 year later, 1998, new building for the British Library at King's Cross, designed by Colin St. John Wilson, was opened by Queen Elizabeth II in London. Interesting.
Okay.
British Library at King's Cross. Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's see here. Images. British Library at King's Cross. Oh my. That's a cool library.
Yeah.
But the inside, that's imposing. Oh, look at that. That's a huge library. Holy shit. I know what I want to do when I visit Britain.
I tell you, they've got some great museums there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Egyptian artifacts there. It's really something to see.
That's because they stole the pyramids.
Well,
some would say the pyramids only stayed in Egypt because the British couldn't steal them. So,
something to that.
Yeah. 1999, in his first State of the Nation address, South African President Thabo Mbeki promised to tackle rampaging crime. The nation's murder rate was the third highest in the world, and more than 49,000 cases of rape were reported in 1998 alone. Holy shit. Damn. Okay, well, moving on up into 2004, another Glastonbury Film Festival, this time in Pilton, England. Oasis, Paul McCartney, and Muse headline with other performers including Wilco, the Black Eyed Peas, James Brown, Damien Rice, Toots and the Maytals, and the Ruddles. Well, I know some of these now. Paul McCartney is timeless.
Yeah.
You know, but the Black Eyed Peas, I know who they are.
Yeah.
Oasis, I think I've heard of them, I'm not sure. 2014, Luis Suarez was charged with biting at the 2014 FIFA World Cup. What the hell?
Biting?
Biting? This guy going out.
He's hungry.
You gotta feed your football players, guys, come on. 2014, Glastonbury Film Festival in Pilton. Arcade Fire and Metallica headline, or Metallica. Other performers included the Black Eyed Peas, Lana Del Rey, Dolly Parton, Robert Plant, Brian Ferry, and Ed Sheeran. Look at this disheveled-looking ginger. Yeah. That's Ed Sheeran. She ran away from him. So.
As fast as she could.
Yep. 2015, Obamacare subsidized in the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare subsidies in the Affordable Care Act. Preserved by U.S. Supreme Court ruling in King versus Brule 6-3. Oh, Obamacare. Crap. 2018, California Governor Jerry Brown declares a state of emergency for wildfire spread over 8,200 acres in Lake County. I remember that.
They called him King Med.
Yeah.
Because he sprayed everybody for the med fly. And, they said stay indoors. Put your car inside because it may eat the paint. Oh, it's fine to spray us. Thank you.
Yeah, what are you spraying us? It's eating the paint on the car? Good lord.
Yeah.
In 2020, just two years ago, U.S. country music band The Dixie Chicks changed their name to The Chicks to remove connotations of Confederate history. Oh, Christ. 2 weeks after, band Antebellum changed their name to Lady A.
I had no idea they changed their name.
Yeah. Yeah, so they got rid of Dixie. So it's the Chicks.
Just the Chicks. What a stupid name, the Chicks. Sorry, that's disappointing. I never heard that.
2021, former U.S. police officer Derek Chauvin was sentenced to 22 years and 6 months for the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. George Floyd killed himself. This man is innocent. Swear to God. 2021, the World Health Organization head, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, confirmed the COVID-19 Delta variant is the most transmissible to date. Now present in 85 countries and spreading rapidly. Bullshit.
You talk about being in the pocket. China, there he is.
Yep.
All tucked in nicely in their pocket.
Asshole right there. Piece of shit, asshole. Anyway, moving on up into.
Are you passionate about those topics?
What?
I'm just feeling passion from you right at the moment.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Just a wee bit. Anyway, before we move on into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention today?
Well, kind of scrolling back as I think.
I can load this up here.
Just in general, I kind of like the recent history stuff that I can remember. It kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
Brings back stuff that's way back there. So yeah, just kind of overall.
Well, this was interesting. Virginia becoming, the 10th state to ratify the Constitution.
Yeah.
But the Battle of Little Bighorn, the Custer's Last Stand. Yeah. Well, without the Gatling gun.
Story. A nice side story. I like that.
Yeah. What was the other interesting one? The start of the Korean War.
Oh yeah. 1950.
Yeah.
We'll never forget that now.
No. You were alive. You were what?
Yes,
5 years old?
4 years old.
4. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, moving on into births. In 1852, we have Antoni Gaudi. He was a Catalan Spanish architect. designed Sagrada Familia, Casamilla, and Caso Batillo. Born in Reus, Catalonia, Spain, dying in 1926. But I have got to see what these structures look like. So let's see. The first one. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty ornate stuff.
That is nice. Oh, look at the inside.
Oh, geez.
Man. Oh, man. They have cranes here, so they're still doing something on the top.
Oh, restoration.
Yeah. Wow.
They gotta preserve all this stuff, so periodically you have to go in.
Yeah. That kind of looks like a beehive. It has like that look, like that roughness.
It looks like a sand castle to me, with
all
all the dripping of wet sand on it.
Yeah, like not fully, solidly packed sand, kind of flaky.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does this other look like? Casamilla. Ooh, that's interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah. Look at that. Ooh.
Yeah. The wave.
Interesting. Even the gate is. And look at the spires. And then this other thing, Casa Batillo. So I like this guy. This is good architecture here. What does this one look like? Ooh, look at that. So he's a big user of like wavy looks and everything, and colors. Look at that. It looks like you're in
the colors.
That looks like a shower, but these are all windows.
That's got to be the way it was originally intended, right? Nobody.
Yeah.
Upgrade. It's got to be into colors.
Well, yeah, the other two had like, those different colors too. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. Look at how the ceiling twists around, and then it all connects with the chandelier.
Going down into the pillars.
Yeah. 1900, Louis Mountbatten was a British naval officer and statesman. He was the last Viceroy of India in 1947. He was born in Windsor, England, dying in 1979. 1903, George Orwell. Hey, we know this guy. Eric Arthur Blair was his actual name. He was a British author, Animal Farm in 1984. Born in Mothieri, British India, dying in 1950. This guy, Orwellian horror story, we're living it.
Yeah.
Because 1984 was all about the Big Brother police states and everything, but never, because I think it was once again Tim Pool, one of his guests or something, he said the police state in Orwellian's 1984. It was all about the government mandated everything you will have cameras in your house, you will have this, you will have that. Well, in the real world, everything kind of just went in. Have your Connect for your Xbox, have the phone on your camera, have a camera on your smart fridge, just do a hand gesture if you want your fridge to open, to do milk. Well, in the guise of convenience, now the police state is here, and they didn't have to lift a finger.
No. It's just
we invited them in.
Of technology, and we said, sure, that's fine. Not realizing what we're giving up.
Yeah, we invited them in essentially like vampires.
Yeah, we did invite them in.
Yeah. 1933, James Meredith, U.S. civil rights activist. He was the first black U.S. citizen at the University of Mississippi. He was born in Cusico, Mississippi. He's still alive. So he is a U.S. civil rights activist.
People don't stop and think of how far we've come.
And they don't stop and appreciate what they have either.
And that's the other side too.
You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. So, 1942, Willis Reed, U.S. NBA Hall of Fame MVP center coach. New York Knicks, born in Hico, Louisiana. Yeah. And 1961, Ricky Gervais. Hey, I know this guy. Well, not personally, but I know of him. He is an English actor and comedian. The Office. He was born in Reading, England. Reading, England. Reading, something like that. Ricky Gervais, yeah. 1963, George Michael, also known as Georgios Kairasios Panayotiou, was born on this date. He is an English singer, songwriter, and pop superstar. In Wham, Careless Whisper, Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, just wake me up before you go go. The solo, and I Want Your Sex and Faith. He was born in London, England. He died in 2016. Oh man, that's not far ago. That's 6 years. 6 years ago.
16.
2016.
Yep.
Yeah. And was there anybody of note? No. Okay, so moving on into deaths. In 1876, George Armstrong Custer. He was a U.S. Army officer and cavalry commander in the U.S. or the American Civil War and the American Indian War. He died at the Battle of Little Bighorn, age of only 36.
Well, wait a second. We also today was the day of his last stand, right?
Yeah.
What a coincidence. I'm sorry, go on. I couldn't resist. I get humor in weird ways.
Fucking retard. 1916, Thomas Eakins was a U.S. artist. The Gross Clinic. He died at 71. What is the Gross Clinic? Let's take a look at this. No, I guess this was his art. He made this. Oh. Yeah, so like all these, I guess it's gross because all these people are watching somebody get cut open for surgery. Mm-hmm. But I guess before, like, you know, they had glass or something, like, you know, they did have surgery theaters. It's still around today.
Really?
You know, well, like, you've seen it in, like, you know, TV and movies, like, you know, the doctor's up, you know, like, looking through the glass at this big room and, like, you know, they're performing surgery on somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there are such thing as surgery theater. Yeah, here we go.
You know, people get cut in half from the box
like this.
on stage.
Well, no, like there's actual, like, you know, medical, like I think, you know, in medical studies.
Well, they didn't understand the necessity for the cleanliness. They just didn't understand. Yeah. They didn't get a connection to that at all.
But not just that, but like it was also for study.
No, I know,
but you can see, you know, here's an old picture of an operating theater. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1968, Tony Hancock died today. He was an English comedian and actor, Hancock's Half Hour. He committed suicide at the age of 44. Comedians and suicide, man, it's hand in hand. 1976, Johnny Mercer was a U.S. lyricist, and the Angels sing That Old Black Magic, Satan Doll, and Moon River. He died from an inoperable brain tumor at the age of 66. Oh, man. That sucks. 1997, Jacques Cousteau was a French oceanographer, died of a heart attack at 87.
Yeah, Jacques Cousteau. A lot of great stuff down in the deeps of the sea.
Yeah, that name is in my brain. I don't know exactly why, but, like, you know, it's in there for some reason.
Yeah.
So, 2009, Michael Jackson. U.S. recording artist, entertainer, and king of pop music, the Jackson 5, Thriller, Dangerous. Died of a cardiac arrest at age 50. No, he was murdered by his doctor. Like, didn't his doctor give him, what was it, fentanyl? Or was this before fentanyl?
I don't know what he gave him, but
his doctor,
he gave him to sleep.
But, like, he OD'd him. Like, the toxicology report or whatever report said that, you know, that he was given, like, 5 times the lethal amount or something. Like,
I don't think that's the case, but it's a very dangerous drug, but that's what he...
Yeah.
demanded from his doctor and paid him a lot of money to come in and give him that stuff and monitor him while he slept because it's very dangerous. And whoops.
Yep.
I think it was a oopsie more than I don't think he murdered him, but
I don't know, man.
Sure.
I don't know, man, because, like, you know, all that child stuff was happening, you know, and maybe the guy was, you know, doing justice.
Gravy boat. He's being paid a lot of money to make it legitimate, so to speak.
Well,
Anyways,
what? No. 2009, Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah.
She was a U.S. actress, Charlie's Angels and The Burning Bed. She died of cancer at the age of 62. She, I'm not sure if she actually voiced her, but at least her likeness in one episode of Johnny Bravo. Johnny obviously, you know, fell head over heels for her, but she was the cousin of that annoying girl next door.
Ah.
Like, remember that little girl always annoyed the hell out of him?
Yeah.
And then Carl, the annoying nerd and everything.
I remember him.
You don't remember Carl? Hold on a second. Johnny Bravo.
I didn't watch
Carl.
these, you know.
This guy.
Over and over. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. That concludes the deaths. And that's it for the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting. For your dose of Vast Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. For your dose, for all of you and all of us, I am Alexander.
Learn some history.
That's not your name.
That is today. Golden Loon.
Thank you. And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brand.